Hello there, people of the internet. I got some things on this table in front of me, which I doubt is going to pop up on camera, but that's fine, because I will show you guys what I got going on here. This right here is a little batch of homemade black powder, and this is my first attempt to make actual legitimate homemade black powder. Now, the reason why I wanted to get into making homemade black powder is because regular black powder is so expensive nowadays. Like, somewhere around a pound of black powder is going to cost you between 40 and 50 bucks. Oftentimes even more, depending on, I don't know, shipping and taxes and whatever it is that you have to deal with in terms of state regulations and whatnot. It's just to the point to where it is extremely expensive, to the point to where it's like cost prohibitive to shoot black powder. So rather than shoot black powder, I've shot black powder on this channel before, but I have been going about basically doing smokeless powder things. I really don't do much with black powder because I don't have much black powder, and the black powder that I do have, I kind of like try to stretch it for particular topics on the channel. And I just don't really shoot it all that much because getting more is just too cost prohibitive for this YouTube channel. So that being said, I decided to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring to try and figure out how to make black powder at home. This way I can make my own black powder at home and I don't have to spend an arm and a leg doing it. I cannot show you guys this process because YouTube has issues with the manufacturing of things like this on their platform, despite the fact that you can go to Google right now and Google will tell you exactly how to make this process. So I'm just going to tell you the ingredients that I use, the ratios that I use, but I'm not going to actually show you the process that I went through in order to make this, just because I don't want to end up upsetting YouTube. I went with the classic 75, 15, 10% mix. That seems to be the Goldilocks area for what everybody seems to go for. The results were pretty good. The charcoal that I used was literally just like random sticks that I found in my yard. I know that there's better options out there, but I do not have any of those options, and I wanted to do this immediately. And for a test run of a first batch, that is fine, just to see if this stuff even ignites. So I went ahead and I charred that up. The way that I charred that up, I don't have, actually, shout out to YouTube channel Everything Black Powder. Great YouTube channel. He has taught me a lot in terms of making black powder. So go check out that channel if you want to learn more about black powder and what different velocities you could expect based off of different kinds of charcoal that you use. I love watching his videos. But random sticks in my yard, I'm not expecting a whole lot of... oh, I just bumped my camera. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not expecting a whole lot of really good results, but as long as it lights on fire and goes whoosh at a half-decent rate, then I will be pleased with this first real effort to make a batch of black powder. I did not refine my potassium nitrate. I know I probably should have, but for a first batch, it'll be okay. It'll be okay just for testing out. So... potassium nitrate, not refined. I bought it online. It was 99.8%. What's the word I'm looking for? Refined, or 99.8% pure. That's the word I'm looking for. I think I just used sulfur that I also bought online, just the yellow sulfur powder, 100% sulfur. You can find that online as well. And then I made my own charcoal. I do not have any paint cans or anything like that, which would be the most effective way to make charcoal. Basically burning whatever it is that you're wanting to turn into charcoal without exposing it to any flame or whatnot. I did not have access to that, so I did the old-fashioned thing, and I started a fire, and then whatever charcoal was left over that was separate from the white ash, that's what I took, and that's what I used as my charcoal. So again, because of these less consistent things, I'm not expecting fantastic results from this black powder, but I would like to see it at least relatively go whoosh. Now after that, I stuck it in a rock tumbler that I have with some brass ball bearings that I have, and I let it roll for about 2 days. And the reason why I did it for so long is because that little tiny rock tumbler, it doesn't quite go as fast as I would like, and it's just a little hobby rock tumbler, but it's what I have to work with, so that is what I use, so that's why I let it go on for so long. Some people will do like 18 to 24 hours, but I was like, okay, well, we're going to do the full 2 days. And whenever I was done with it, it was like really light and fluffy. So I think that rock tumbler probably did a pretty gosh darn good job at milling that black powder. You do want to mill it I know I said that this right here is my first batch. Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess it's not technically my first batch. My first batch was made with a mortar and pestle, which is not going to get you very good results at all, but that's kind of why I was doing it with mortar and pestle. I was trying to make a firework black powder versus something that would go like whoosh immediately, like what I have right here. But for the mortar and pestle, I did the same 75, 15, and 10, and then I threw in a few more grains, or a few more grams of sulfur, only because a bunch of sulfur inside the black powder would cause little tiny sparks to go everywhere, and that's what I wanted because I was making fireworks grade black powder. It left a bunch of unburned sulfur all over the place and whatnot, but it was pretty to look at. But I guess that was my first black powder batch. But this is my first black powder batch where I'm actually attempting to make black powder. Get that out of the way here. So it was all light and fluffy, and I ended up dampening it down with 91% rubbing alcohol. And then after that, I do not have a way to compress it into a puck properly. So I kind of jerry-rigged it. And I didn't do much compression. I more or less made it to where it wasn't so fluffy. So I have, normally, I'm going to say this right now, normally you would need like a press and proper dies in order to compress your black powder into a puck. I don't have a press, I don't have dies. This right here is less of a compression because if I try this again, it's going to be inconsistent. It's really not much compression at all. It's more or less me packing it down. But I have this little jar right here, and I got this wooden stick, and I just went like this for probably about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, packing it in best that I could without breaking my glass. Like I said, it's less compressed and more packed, so I'm not expecting that right there did much besides making it less fluffy. Alright, without further ado, I'm actually going to bring a little bit of this out to my garage. I'm going to bring you guys with me. And we're going to light it on fire, make it go whoosh, and we're going to see what the burn is like. The reason why I'm going to my garage is, well, it's kind of windy outside. I don't want to do it outside. I don't have anything flammable inside the garage. I feel like it's just going to be the best place. So I'm going to bring you guys along, and let's go see how well this stuff works. Obviously, it's not sized or anything like that. This right here is just a trial run of black powder. If this stuff burns halfway decently to the point to where I feel it is safe loading inside of a muzzleloader or something like that, which I'm not going to do on this video, I don't have a way to be able to pull a ball out in the event that this doesn't burn properly and I end up with a squib load inside of the barrel or something like that. Which I'm working on getting. I do have an attachment for my ramrod for my muzzleloader. It's coming. It's just not here yet at time of recording. So I'm not going to be firing this stuff on this video. I'll probably do a follow-up video where I do an actual batch of black powder. Once I get a paint canning, I can make proper charcoal. And once I refine my potassium nitrate, because although it is 99.8% pure, there's still going to be impurities inside of it. Let's see how well this stuff burns, and that'll determine how I feel about sticking it inside of a muzzleloader before I go about saying, yeah, let's just throw this down the barrel and ride the lightning, right? So I still got to size this stuff. I'm probably going to break it apart inside of what's it called, a mortar and pestle, and then I'm going to re-dampen it with more alcohol, and then I'll do the whole grater method to get my proper granules that I'm looking for. But until that point, let's head to my garage. Okay, now comes the trial. I stuck a little bit inside of this cast iron skillet that I got right here. I get that the lighting and whatnot's not going to be great right here, but you know what? This right here is a garage, so what do you guys expect? This will be fine for testing purposes. Set my camera right here. I'm going to light this long lighter because the little ignition thing inside this lighter really doesn't work all that well. Let's see how well this actually works. I am not expecting great results, but if we get something, then I'll be happy. So let's see what we got. That wasn't bad. That was actually not bad at all. Hell yeah. If I do a little bit of refinement with the potassium nitrate, and I do a little bit better method with my charcoal making to where I don't have like ash and whatnot. I tried getting the ash off the charcoal, but I mean, that's kind of a losing battle right there whenever you're just pulling things from a fire pit. But that was not bad. That was not bad at all for a first trial run. Okay, back from the garage. It was pretty good for what it was that I was actually expecting, but it's definitely not a whoosh like a commercial grade black powder. If I were to stick this inside of a muzzleloader and we were to get results of it coming out the barrel, we would not get very good velocities. But that being said, I don't need very good velocities because I'm just going to be going to a gun range. I have no idea how well this stuff is going to work inside of a muzzleloader. So before I even attempt to test this, I'm going to get myself one of those ball pullers, so if I do get a ball stuck inside of my muzzleloader, I can just go ahead and pull it out with that puller. I don't have a puller as of right now because all I've ever shot is commercial black powder, and I've never needed one because I don't really keep my muzzleloaders loaded, and I basically shoot them as soon as I what's the word I'm looking for? As soon as I load them? Yeah, we'll go with that. Compressed inside of a muzzleloader with a ball in front of it, I don't know how much pressure that's going to generate, and I don't know how much velocity we're going to get from our cartridge. But I can tell you right now, it was a whoosh, but it was not a whoosh like commercial black powder is supposed to be. So we're definitely not going to get like all that much velocity, but seeing as I'm probably just going to be clinking at steel at 25 yards because I have a YouTube channel and that's what I would be doing with a muzzleloader, that would probably be adequate enough for my filming purposes. But I'm still gonna refine this a little bit more, do proper charcoaling, use things that aren't just random debris from my yard, do a little bit more refinement, and see what I can manage to pull off. I have high hopes for this because this is a good batch, and I still know that I didn't do everything right here. Maybe I'll get myself dies and a press to where I can properly compress things. Might work out. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.